Hello again. So this morning I was just walking around the house and I was doddering around doing my morning routine and flicked a couple of flower pots, an array of which you can kind of see in front of me now. And I thought, new instrument, why not? So I have got a selection of random flower pots here in front of me. The wife doesn't know I've got them, so please don't let her know. And I thought, we'd kind of have a look at what makes a good sample and then record and build a sampler instrument out of them. So I've got, different sizes, different shapes. You've got a kind of jug one here. I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of discuss, all about them and what they are. So I just flicked them this morning, but really, you don't get the better tone out of them until you kind of use something like a beater, which is really, really quite important, as you will kind of hear now. You get a lovely resonant tone out of them. They all sound quite different. Standing waves are generated from when we strike a sound, all right, or when we speak, or we make a sound with an instrument. And those standing waves are, and how they act from a point of view of like creating a harmonic content, i.e. the character of the sound, the timbre of the sound, all depends on how the standing waves react within the instrument itself. So that's kind of why we're getting different tones out of these different jugs right now. And also the material they're built in. So it's known as a Helmholtz resonator. So a guitar is no different. A flute, a tube, no different. All different instruments, the resonator within them. My voice box, all right, it's what determines the harmonic content, and that's what we kind of want to look at. Harmonic content is based upon the actual tone the sound makes, or the note we play, and how after that note we've played, everything above that note, okay, what we call overtones or harmonic series, is how the harmonics act after that initial note. So the initial tone is the fundamental, also known as the first harmonic, and from that above we get the overtones, the harmonic series. Even harmonics, we have the first, we have the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on. Odd harmonics, on the other hand, tend to be missing the second, they go to the third, they go to the fifth, and so on. We also have in-harmonic series, something like a bell. I'm listening to these right now and they contain different harmonics. They're not quite fully tuneful. So are they going to make a great sampler patch? All right, do they pitch up well? Do they pitch down well? Okay, so let's do a test right now to see what they sound like. Let's have a look at it now. Okay, so I'm inside Logic Pro now and I've got the quick sampler ready to go. We're using the recorder so that we can instantly record. I've set my mic inputs on the quick sampler, just checked the recording level as well, and let's just do a quick. Yeah, great, that sounds good. Let's record. I'm just going to do one shot on this. Okay, so that second recording is the better one. Let's just jump to slice, and we're going to get this, just this note. Go to the end point, so bit of zooming in here. Let's get rid of that. Let's see what we got. Let's get the start point right. Excellent. Let's see if we can get the end correct as well. Alright, so there's where the sample is about ending. Alright, so let's just put this now into classic mode. And it should pitch. Yes, it is. Let's try the other one and compare. Okay, let's get another quick sampler up. Here we go. Got a mic input. Yes, we have. Swap over our plant pots. That was a good one. Always the test is to go down low and see what happens. Okay, now let's open them in the actual sampler itself within Logic, and we'll see if we can fully tune them and pitch them. I'm going to call this green as well, so we know which vase is which. You're Mr. Green Vase, and you are Mr. Cream Vase. Green and cream. Lovely. Okay, Mr. Green. Let's open you in sampler. And we are now opening up the mapping area, and it's already mapped. But what I'd like to do is do a quick zone auto map here to do pitch detection correctly. That's just done that, and we can always check that by opening up tuner and just hitting the right. Yeah, there you go. Obviously the lower samples there are taking much longer time to play through than our higher pitched samples. There's a way around that. Oh, by the way, I am hitting the right notes as well, so the notes I'm hitting are corresponding to the tuning, so the Logic sampler's done a great job at that. Yeah, I want to now just have a look and see if I can get these notes to play, whether they are low or high, at the same length, sample length, and we can quite easily do that in the zone area, whereas if we place and turn on the follow tempo for the sample itself, we should now have, yeah, the same length playing. That sounds lovely down there, the bass. Yeah, that's a bit of a interesting. Okay, let's try the other one. Again, same thing. We'll open up in sampler, go to our mapping and zone and auto map, pitch detection, auto map via pitch detection. Well, let's just double check that. Tuner. Absolutely correct again. I am hitting the C and I'm getting a C. So let's now do the same here. Again, zone, and we will do follow tempo. So we've got short notes. So I haven't touched this beastie. The reason being is right now, it just, from first impressions, it just didn't sound great. No matter where I hit it. I don't think that is going to, from first listening, transpose very well into an instrument that pitches well harmonically across the keyboard. So we're going to leave that one out. Sorry. Nice colour though. Okay, so that's gone. So we've got two competitors, Mr. Green, Mr. Cream. Let's have a look at them harmonically, because right now, to me, just recording those basics there, I think they sound great. All right, they are really quite pitching quite well right across the keyboard. There are some slight in harmonic partials in there, but you know, I think we can deal with those. Let's have a look at what they are actually doing. So this is, let's go back here, Mr. Green. And this is Mr. Cream. Which right now, from listening, I am favouring quite a lot. There's a certain brightness about it. Let's have a look at the harmonic content. So we can clearly see some partials happening in between these harmonics here. We've got these harmonics right here. And we've got in-harmonic partials happening between. This is our fundamental note here. This is a lot of noise. Essentially, I believe that is picked up from it being on my table here. It's a lot of low resonance going on when those standing waves are ricocheting around those pots. Does it add to the character? That's certainly suggestive. Maybe down low. What if we just pull some of that away? But we lose all of that bottom end. Which can be quite tasty. Let's have a look at the content on Mr. Green. Our fundamental, and we can see some series harmonics happening here. In harmonic partials in between. Again, a lot of low content. I'm going to record these properly in a moment anyway, with a great microphone, noise reduce, and we'll take it from there. I am going to go with Mr. Cream. There's something quite tasty about that one. All right, so I'm going to now record these with a great condenser microphone, do some noise reduction, and then we'll start to kind of build a sampler instrument out of them. I am also now very much tempted to run this through some of my external pedals, modular gear, synthesizers, and see what we can kind of come up with from a sound design. Maybe we're going to come up with a new instrument. It's all an experiment. Let's go. Okay, so I've recorded the files in a closed space. Got 3 recordings here and some room tone. I'm just going to check for room tone. Let's play this through, see if we get any noise profile show up. No, we don't, which is good. We did do it in a closed room, very damped. This is the one I want, the third one. Tonally, it's much better. So let's do some trimming of this. Get rid of the rest, we don't need it. And find the end, so it's about here. Then resave it as another audio file. And drop it into the quick sampler. Optimized, it should give it the right notes. Sounding good. We'll get this into the main sampler now. Let's check out the mapping, and we'll do a bit of auto map by pitch just to make sure every note that I hit is correct tuning wise. We'll check that out with a tuner. Yep, that's a C. Correct note pitches, great. And let's do flex time, so follows the tempo. So the notes follows the tempo, so the notes are the same length. I think I'll just check out some amp envelope. I'll just take a little bit off the front of these. Sustaining much better as well. This is choice. I'm going to make this available anyway, this instrument in its dry form. Let's put a bit of reverb on. What's it sound like? Very nice, I like that. I think I can do a lot with this now, running it through the modular gear and the pedals. Yeah, let's have a little bit of fun with that now, and we'll see what we can get a new instrument out of it. Maybe make a nice Kontakt instrument out of it for you all. Okay, so we are now sending Mr. Cream flowerpot out of the system via the patch bay, and it is now coming into the input on mutable instruments rings here, which is a wonderful resonator. It creates really great bell tones, but can do so much more. We're just going to kind of use it, change some of the parameters, see what we can add to the sound that's already there, enhance it. I'm not going to do anything too much with controlling or modulating the signal that's coming into rings via other modules. I want to try and keep the sound, I want to improve the sound, but I want to try and keep the sound, should we say, clean without any modulation on it. I want to use this, I want to put it into, I want to make a Kontakt instrument out of it, and apply effects in there that users can then, you know, apply to the sound within Kontakt and modulate and do to it whatever they like. So I'm just gonna I'm just going to design the sound a little bit more, basically, with the use of rings. I've got a filter as well here, so rings input here from the system. Rings output is going into the Tip Top Audio Forbidden Planet filter. Low pass in, resonance, frequency. I've got an output of volume control. The output is then going to the nifty case output, back to my main patch bay over yonder, which is currently out of shot. You can't see that. For those of you who know this studio and have seen it before, you will get the idea. And then on the patch bay, I am taking the signal out of the Tip Top Audio into the Mooga Fuga, and then out of the Mooga Fuga into the Chroma console, which is a multi effect pedal, which is absolutely amazing for me. The Mooga Fuga, I might even keep it in bypass. The Mooga Fuga can quite quickly go way off track, but the harmonic distortion in this is beautiful. We can add a lot of warmth to the sound, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's it. So we're just going to have a play and essentially just see what comes out, and that's it really. So I've also got the keyboards, my controller keyboard next to me. If I play some sound now, that's our recorded dry sound running into rings. And if I play a little bit about with rings right now, frequency wise, so we've got frequency, we've got structure, we've got different modes on rings. We can damp it. So in some modes, these switches become envelopes. The damping module becomes an envelope. Brightness, kind of like a filter as well. Yeah, I'm going to try. Let's just go back to these two modes, because that is the closest we are right now to the original sound. We can brighten that. You can already hear it's got so much more metallic already. Now I don't know what I want to go for, whether I want to go for a pad sound. For those of you who know me, I am a bit of a fan of pads. Or do I want to go for something short, more synthy? Let's play about with a structure here. We need to be gentle with this. Sounds really great down there as well. I might obviously do some more adjusting in a minute, but we'll just go with that for a moment. Let's now run it through the Mooga Fuga. Let's see what we've got here. It's already got some nice drive happening. This is where things can get a little bit out of hand. That's quite nice, just bringing out some really gentle harmonics there with a little bit of additional VCO frequency, just slight mix and some slight drive and more output level. Really like that. Right, let's run it through now the chroma, so we'll unbypass that. Still nothing going on at the moment. I'm gonna bypass the character because the character is all about distortion, different drive, sweeten, fuzz, howl and swell types on this area here. We go over to movement. Now I don't particularly want too much movement happening either. It's something again I want to do because it is a time-based thing, and I want to kind of do that within Kontakt. What I'm really interested in is playing about with some diffusion, reverb types, etc., and even some textural effects here. For example, the filter, although we don't need to do that because we've done a little bit of filtering already, but I really like the cassette and broken and interference features, which can add so much character to a sound as well. We've already got some character, so let's go for diffusion first, and then we've got a mix amount here. You can hear they're almost like it's like a cascading reverb. Again, it's time-based. So let's have a look at reels. So this is emulating two tapes, and you can hear the tape slowing down. Let's try out space. That's an interesting one. Let's try collage. Repetitive again. One of my favourites is reverse. I really like this. You can really get this quite subtle or big. That would be a preferred favourite if I could just get that right. Let's bypass that for a minute. Let's try some textures. Yeah, I'm really liking cassette. Let's choose an amount. Bypass this a minute, and this. All right, I've decided to make a creative decision. I'm going to strip things back. I'm not going to run anything through the pedals. I really kind of want just the resonant sound that Rings is creating for me. I'm just going to go with that. I have also noticed that rings was the resonance coming out of rings wasn't pitching or pitch tracking along with the notes I'm playing on the keyboard. So what I've done is I have taken a CV out of my system here and run it into the volts per octave on rings, so that now everything coming out of rings is tracking with the pitch on my keyboard, which is great. So now everything note pitch wise all linked together. Really, really good. And so this is now what I have. All right, some final recording processes. I've recorded 2 velocity layers of every single note right across my 88 key controller keyboard. I've then run the notes into RX10, added some spectral denoise on them, and then used the strip silence in Logic to take out the silence between the notes, and then note named everything. So, mission accomplished, all done. I've recorded everything out of the Rings Modular. As you already know, I've backed off from using the pedals, routing all the pedals. I didn't want that fully affected sound. I kind of wanted to do that inside Kontakt as part of the instrument to give you, the user, choice. So I've recorded just through the process sound through mutable instruments, rings, the resonator, and recorded 2 different velocity levels, MP and MF layers, which you can clearly see here inside Kontakt, meeting between a velocity 63 and then starting on 64 to 1, so 1 to 63, 64 to 127. I then created a velocity table down here, which allows me to kind of bridge that gap perfectly between the 63 and 64 mark, and how it reacts as well, the rest of the samples in those areas. Yeah, and then on top of that, I've then built the put in some effects. So I've got my standard effects I put on a lot of these instruments, but added for this one a little bit more of a unique distortion and a delay, of which you'll see in a moment. And then sorted all the parameters out, something I'm happy with, very happy with actually, and then moved on to creating the GUI, of which I was a bit rusty. I've not done it for about 6 months, so some of the scripting I kind of added in was wrong, had to make some changes, but essentially got there in the end, and we have ended up with this lovely looking GUI, with all our kind of standard kind of one knob controls, of which I'll talk to you about in a moment. The image in the background is a picture of Mr. Cream, the flower pot, a nice little close-up, so that's the image in the background. And I have entitled it REZZOPOT. Rezzo because it's been through Mutable Instruments Rings, which is a resonator, and obviously it's a pot. So the Zs, you'll see they come in quite appropriately in a moment in regards to the distortion, because it's very buzzy. So yeah, so if I just turn down all of these effects a moment, and we'll just go dry. Let's put our filters up, short attack, long release, and this is the normal sound. Some wonderful percussive sounds down low, and actually lower bass as well. The distortion comes in really well in a minute. It's quite playful. Yeah, so we've got a standard volume control on here, and I'm going to go straight to the distortion before I kind of add any of the other effects. So this was great. It really brought out the harmonics, added more harmonics to the sound. can just hear that buzzy. And if I turn that up and that down really low, quite playful. It's a bit of reverb on that. Very nice. Some chorus, which actually with the distortion works lovely. It kind of brings out even more fizziness, and you can hear that there. Yeah, delay mapped to just the feedback parameter, so use this at your peril, shall we say. Nice and gentle there, but you can go an infinite. Turn that down a minute, let's do it gently. And my favourite, turn down the chorus, the rotator. Lovely. And then we've got low pass and high pass control. Used in conjunction with each other, create notches, filter notches, really good. And then obviously the obligatory attack and release controls, of which if I turn the release right down, you can hear the notes really shortening. And believe it or not, this instrument, you can make some great pads out of it. So check this out. So let's add a nice long attack. Let's turn that down at distortion. Let's throw up the reverb and a bit of delay, and that rotator down a bit. Really nice. You could even go further. Yeah. So, there you go. That is my REZZOPOT. I've had a lot of fun doing this one. Really, really good. I'm going to make it available for free, as I always do. Why not? If you check out the links in the description, it'll take you to the website and to our particular sampled page, which is the home of all of our kind of sample instruments. It's a network I'm trying to build with like-minded other samplists, hopefully soon adding more of their own on there as well, just to share to a network of users and creators, I call them. So yeah, please get involved in that. If you want to get this for free, you've got to log in on the website. You've got to log in anyway to create as well. Tons of resources on there. Join in the forums as well. Really, really great. Yeah, get involved. And again, if you really, really enjoyed this video, you've liked the content, you want to see more of me doing this type of stuff, and you got questions, etc., please, give me a shout. But do subscribe, do hit that bell for further notifications, and please give us a thumbs up. All right, greatly appreciated. That's it. I will see you again soon. If you're going to go for this, enjoy it, and please send me some of your compositions if you have, or if you do use it. Interested to hear. See you next time. Bye.